it would melt it.
I don't know.
Are you sure about that?
Because remember in Breaking Bad.
It's a very specific kind of plastic that they used for like beakers and stuff. Not beakers, but laboratory equipment. Gasoline alone will dissolve the kind of plastic that they use in those cheap water guns, like that kind of plastic. Because I know that because I used to fill my water guns up with gasoline and make myself a flamethrower. But you're like, all right, she's full. We've got 5 minutes before this thing melts in our hands, and we're now covered in melty plastic gasoline. So let's
and
get
we
to
have
work.
No super soaker.
yeah. They immediately dissolve. But I did that a lot as a kid. So I would imagine acid would do the same. Plus, you don't fuck with acid anyway. Acid's so scary.
I had a kid, like a friend of mine, who like genuinely scared me when I was like 13 or so, because I went over to his house and he was like talking about how cool it was to take a ton of styrofoam cups that his mom had and melt it in this acetate and then like make napalm. He was very into the military. He ended up joining the Marines later in his life. And I remember like even like being like an immature, like 12, 13-year-old being like, there's no way we should be doing this. Like this is scary, man. Like let's just throw M80s at birds. You know, like, we're not going to hit them. So there's no guilt. It'll just pop. Like you'll throw it at it. It'll miss and land and then pop and the bird will fly away.
So what was he doing? He was just dissolving the styrofoam and the gasoline? He was
dissolving it in the acetate and then it was like a sludgy mixture. And then he wanted to do something with it. And I was like, I'm let's just play something else. And so I did not engage with whatever that ended up being.
I want that guy on the show. Like where's he at these days?
He's still a very close friend of mine. I could talk to him for you.
He died in a car accident last year, 140 miles per hour. Yeah, he was on fire when he did it.
No, one of my closest friends this day. Shout out Tim. How you doing, bud?
Shout out Tim. Yeah, nothing like making a little napalm in your younger years. No, that's just fun to play with.
No, he's a fun guy.
I was always doing stuff like that, like starting little fires. I discovered quickly that you could take primers and shoot them with a slingshot, and they would explode on impact, like a big explosion.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. And I had tons of them because primers are the thing that go in the back of the shotgun shell. It's what the primer hits and the firing pin hits, and it's what initiates the bang. So it's an impact sensitive little explosion. So you could just shoot them with the slingshot at a brick wall and big pop. It was a lot of fun.
I know you and I and Woody to an extent did stuff like that. Filthy, what were your go-to childhood activities? Were you a kid like me that just like every day after school you went into the woods and like played with friends?
Fires.
We did a lot I'm trying to think of it depends on the age group, but we did a lot with like water balloon stuff. So we had I had a 3-man slingshot for water balloons that we
one person on each side.
Yeah, you had to like brace. As little kids, you had to full on brace, and you get one person to pull it back, and it stretched like 6 foot back and launch them like half a block kind of deal. And we would shoot them we cracked a friend's house like paneling with water balloons from the street kind of deal. So this was like middle school, right? And they were like it was some game like you had to like assassination or something, right? A lot of that kind of stuff. So a lot of running around town on bikes with slingshots and water guns and stuff.
Did you ever egg houses?
Didn't do egging too much.
Yeah, I did. I didn't like indiscriminate egging. I felt like that was
needs to be tactical
because you're getting people that like maybe it's old people who can't really properly clean their home. I always thought that was real shitty. I remember like I knew some guys who like threw tomatoes at an old person's house and they got caught and they made them clean it up. And I was like, yeah,
good.
Even at like 16, I was like, yeah, why are you fucking throwing tomatoes at old people's homes? Like why don't you come with us and throw them at Dusty's house? That's the cool shit. And
harass your friends, not some innocent.
No, it was someone we didn't like. It was not a friend.
Oh, harass your enemies.
I lived across from 18th hole.
That guy's dead. He killed himself
for a little bit of time during that same time period. And we could do it behind my house. We could launch a water balloon from behind my house over the house onto the 18th hole. And we'd do that occasionally, which was a lot of fun.
How far of a distance was that? Was it like two of you like arms like struggling to hold it out while the other guy pulls back?
Yeah, absolutely. But like, actually, it couldn't have been I lived across from that. I don't remember where we shot it from. We wouldn't have been as stupid to do it directly from the back of my house, but it was that idea. Arc it over the house where they couldn't see you and try to hit golfers with water balloons. So
we would do stuff like that with I know exactly the launcher you're talking about because like we had and the people we had used. So at the time I was like 15 and we had a pool at our house at the time with a diving board and it wasn't like a super long pool or anything. And we thought like a fun game because we had been throwing water balloons at people who would jump off the diving board and we'd try and hit them before they got into the pool and pop it. And they would try and jump in, but not just to dive. You'd have to go up and like dodge it and everything. And we were like, oh, let's use the launcher. And so we stood at the base of this pool. And we had also figured out that if you only put like a third of the amount of water in the balloon, it went so goddamn fast. And so like we smoked a friend of mine in the back that it looked like he got hit with like a beanbag gun from a police officer, because we had me and the third biggest guy in our group as the two holders, because we were the most solid, and then we had the fattest member of our friend group, Michael, do the pullback, because we were 15. That kid was like probably 320 at the time, and so he went full back, and he was not a great shot. He nailed that one guy in the back, got a huge bruise. We all got a laugh out of it. And the next shot, I think he got overconfident and he shot too low. And so you know how liners and pools are. If it's a liner pool, it's like this kind of soft, pushy thing on the side. It's not like a tile pool. He shot this little water balloon so hard, it missed him, the person he was shooting at entirely, went under the diving board and slammed into the liner, and it split the entire liner of the pool. It was such a big thing. It sounded like a lightning crack and went pop. And then like I was like immediately like, oh no, and I like ran over there and checked. Like an enormously expensive problem has appeared, and I have to like then like amp up the courage to be like, okay, how am I going to talk to my dad later? How'd you break the liner of the pool, Taylor? Well, we were shooting. No, I can't leave like that.
Doesn't the water get behind
throwing,
the liner?
that's
what
not
happens to the ground? What happens to the now you have the liner's not supposed to leak. What happens?
So the liner split. So there's still concrete behind the liner and everything. It's just the liner with the foam to like make it more comfortable to walk on and push off of. But yeah, it split that probably a couple feet.
That's all the liner does, make it comfortable to walk on. I thought it was part of the waterproofing of the pool.
Well, that too.
It is part of the, like, it's not going to drain your pool, but like if we would have left that just hang out and open, it would have like let water back behind there and get in it. But thankfully it hit at that top area and split it laterally. And so we were able to like tape it and kind of get it fixed up a little bit.
The water line.
Barely. Well, I guarantee some water got in there.
My dad was my dad
was above the water line after it drained. I'm sorry, Kyle.
Yeah, and for my dad did not get as mad at me as I thought I would. That was one of those where I was just like, damn, made out like a bandit. Gonna do this again.
My dad was playing a risky game of fetch using a beer bottle with the dog, and I guess like he's throwing it into the pool, and the dog's like grabbing it back and like jumping in the pool. And one time he threw it too far and hit the other end of the pool. The beer bottle shatters, of course, and then I think they got most of the glass up, but then when they went, the automatic pool cleaner thing has like glass between it and the floor of the pool, so it's just ruining the whole bottom of the pool overnight, like just ruins it. And so he just got that completely replaced. They had to completely drain the pool, tear the old liner out, put the new liner in, and fill it again. I don't know how you guys fill pools, but like we always called a fire truck to like come and immediately like do it in one big thing.
We just did a hose and it took days.
You can do?
Truck?
No, you just call them. They'll bring you a load of water.
You requisition fire truck?
What?
You can do that?
Never heard of that in my life.
I mean, what you think? There's fires all day that they need to be putting out. They'll come for anything. You got a cat in the tree. You got they're happy to.
I'm
going
to call the fire department and be like, "Hey guys, my pool's a little low." So
offer them $50. They'll be right there.
Get out.
Hi firefighters.
That's too low.
I don't. Maybe you don't have cool ass firefighters like you do here. Maybe that's a problem. But
we had
here, they fucking show up. And I remember like the first one time they did it, and they dumped this. I don't know how many gallons it is. Call it 20,000 gallons of like rusty water into the pool. And he's like, "No, good. You got to take that back and bring me some good water." And I think they actually did. I think they took it back and brought him good water. Yeah.
Your family's just wasting public dollars. Just
it's water. I don't look. Maybe water is
sometimes I call the police department just because I'm lonely.